sun's now gone behind or over the house or the apartment, so I'm going to start cleaning up this mess, and then we can get to putting up the shade cloth. So move all of these into the spare bedroom. The shade cloth are good. That's closer, so you can see what I will be doing. Let's do that first, eh? Possibly, yes. Okay. Move these ones out of the way, and then I shall return. I'll just go and get some cable ties. Shouldn't be long. Okay, here we are. Back again. Right, so this is 5 meters worth of shade cloth, and it's quite strong, and it is slightly see-through, which means that you can see out through it, which is good for my cat because it means that he still gets a view outside. And but it does provide us with shade and a certain level of privacy. So first things first, I'm going to see how far along this is going to fit. It definitely fits. It's 1 meter tall, which is what I want because that's how big the it's probably a little bit more than 1 meter, but that's how tall the railings are here. But I'm just going to put this along here because that's where it's going to start. I'm just going to see how far along the 5 meters is actually going to reach, and whether it will reach around. I doubt it will. That pillar to the other side. You know, it just might. How's it going to go? It obviously won't go that way, but going the other way might just be long enough. All right, so in that case, I'm going to see if I can do something clever here without killing myself. Let's attach it. Oops, nope, that's not going to work. Here we go. Aha. Yes. And I will decide what to do with the excess at a later date. potentially I could cut it and use it as a filler for the other end, but I'm worried about doing that obviously because I'm worried about the structural integrity of the fabric, and I certainly don't want it to get wrecked. So up we go. Oh shit. Accidents will happen. We only hit and run. I don't want to hear it. Accidents will happen. Accidents will happen. Only hit and run. Go. There we are. All right, last one there. So I will tighten these up more once we get the rest of it down. Okay, you can see it flapping in the wind now. So the next step is to tie it down from the bottom. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a longer cable tie, and I'm going to put two going down the columns here around that will hold it like this so that it will be nice and flat, and then one at the bottom of the column as well. So first things first, I'm going to do the ones at the end here, which you can't see at the moment. If I turn them like that, can you see? Not really. Let me just see if I can turn you a little bit more. Not really. Okay. Well, you don't really need to see that. Suffice it to say, that's what I'm going to do. So. Okay, so next thing is to pop them down here. It's really quite a simple procedure, as I said. You just take a cable tie about a third of the way down, pull taut, pop it through, and then the next thing we've got to do is we've got to get it around. So I'm going to go over. Pop it in around the same size. There we go. Now, the next thing is just to join the two together. And there we are, Bob's your uncle, all done. So next one is slightly lower down. So easiest way to do this one is to reach up from below. If we can, we should be able to get it once it goes through. There we are. Okay. Coming through, there we are. A little bit more difficult for that one, but pop it through a little cable tie thing. Here we go, all done again. So that's great. And the last one is the bottom one. We can do two here if we want to. I might do two, I guess. Probably the best thing to do. Just keep it nice and taut. The wind can get very fierce here. Sydney is actually quite a windy city, especially if you live anywhere near water, the harbour, or Botany Bay, which is where I live near. I live in Mascot, which is right near the airport. So Mascot's actually the suburb the airport's in. So airport here runs out onto some of the runways run out into Botany Bay, which is actually the first place that Captain Cook landed when they discovered Australia. They didn't find Sydney Harbour until a bit later. I'm not quite sure how much later, but until later anyway. So they originally found Botany Bay and thought to themselves, this is great. First of all, it's land. There was water, which they were in desperate need of, etc. Fresh water. And they were very happy to have found it, needless to say. So we just continue this again. So again, down about a third of the way, and through it goes, back through. So it's pretty simple. I've done it a number of times now. It's definitely gotten easier as I've done it. And I've figured out the best way to actually attach them. I did think at first that I would just be attaching them through these eye hooks, but that just doesn't work with a balcony railing like mine. So I gave that idea away and decided to go with it this way. And so far, the shade cloth has held up. It has not split. I was worried about it tearing and splitting and fraying, and it will do that in time. But as each of these shade cloths was about $15 from Temu, it's really not a problem if it does. I'll just order some more and put it up. I mean, if it did it after a weekend or two, I'd be upset. But if it does it after sort of a few months or a year later, I really don't mind that much. As you can see, it's pretty easy to fix. Just with some more cable ties. Get some new stuff and on it will go. And what this means is that I've had a plant which I really wanted to have out here, but I have not been able to because it is a Philodendron gloriosum and it's getting very big. It's in a self-watering pot, but it's velvet philodendron, which means it can't take that much sun. So because I'm going to have the shade cloth here, that will be wonderful because I can put it right here and we'll contour that here. It's a crawler, so we'll contour that here with nice big puddle flowery leaves. And the direct sun won't hit it at all. So very pleased about that. All right, moving right along, I'll skip that one for the moment. And for the sake of shortening this video a bit and finishing. Right. So I'm just going to pull this taut. Put you in around here. What needs to be around there? Okay, so the first one's going to go about here. Now you have to put this through the shade cloth again, but only the shade cloth. So through about there. Not yeah. because this is the end, I'm also going to put one up here around the hole as well. Yeah, right, that's going to keep it together now. Now I could probably put this around here just so it looks a bit neater and attach it to the wall with some different kinds of hooks. But I won't worry about that for the moment. That is a tomorrow problem. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I do like it when a plan finally comes together. Everything will match and look nice as well, which is another thing that I want for this balcony garden of mine. Go. What's wrong way? Ta-da. Beautiful. And one more for luck, and then we will be done. Now, if anyone knows anything about cable ties, you will know that there is a right way and a wrong way to put them in. And if you get the wrong bit, it won't ratchet up. So you know you've got the right bit when you hear the ratcheting sound. Right. Okay, so there we are. That is putting up a shade cloth on the balcony. Now, for these, what I've done on the other bits is I've put a little bit of a sticky thing here, and I've put a hook in, and so that they sort of stay up like that. So I will do that again once I find the hooks, and I believe they're probably in some of the boxes that I took away from here in order to put up the shade cloth. So first things first, we can put back the plants that we had over the red, which will look nice. And then I can bring out a Gloriosum and show you just how glorious the Gloriosum is. It is glorious. Okay, so there we go. Beautiful. Now I shall return. Okay, so here we go. So this is the beautiful Gloriosum I was telling you about. And as you can see, the leaves are beautiful. This is the latest leaf on it. I'm going to have to chop it because it's almost grown to the edge of this little trough that I've got it in here. I've got it in one of these self-watering pots. Looks like this. Yeah, that's it. Look at those beautiful, pillowy, big leaves. So this one is a crawler rather than a climber, which means that in the desert, in the forest, rainforest, it likes to crawl along the floor lengthways, and it will not crawl up a hybrid of this one called Glorious Rose. So I've got a hybrid which is called Glorious, and I've got a number of those as well. And they're a hybrid of the Glorious and I think an Amelinochrysum, which is a climber. And so what happens is on those ones you get the big beautiful leaves. They're slightly narrower shaped than this. These are quite heart shaped, I guess. But you get the big pillowy leaves with the velvet, with the beautiful puffiness, so they climb up. And I have a number of those climbing at the moment. I've done a chop and extend on one of them. It's my second or third chop and extend since I got it, and hoping that I'm going to start getting some really big pillowy leaves from that one. That's this size. But anyway, so that's going to go there. And there is going to be a problem because every time I close the door, I have to move it along a little bit. So what I wanted when you look from the front, this is the door. This isn't the door of the apartment, but it's the first thing you see when you enter the apartment. So I wanted people to be able to see the big, beautiful leaves there. But you can see the door won't close completely if it's right there. So we'll move it along just a little bit until we get to, so I can move it back. Oops, not that far. A little bit more. There we go. Now the only thing is it is going to do that when it moves back and forth, but hopefully it won't damage the plant too much. I will be careful to do that. Carefully. I will do that carefully. Now, what I normally do in the mornings is I come in and I open this up and I put this as a door stopper along there, and that allows free flow of air through the apartment. So that's what that's going to look like. I'm very happy with that. I will next have to get to organizing the mess that is on those shelves and in the boxes behind you, but that is a Easter project which I will get to sooner or later. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See ya. Good morning again, everyone. It is the next morning, and I wanted to show you the difference that having the shade cloth up on my balcony actually makes. So I might just, if Tommy would move out of the way a little bit, thank you very much. You put yourself down there. He loves it. That wall gets very warm because of the sun coming through. But I will just pop back a bit and show you what the vista looks like now. So when that door is closed, it's a glass door, and you will see beautiful Gloriosum through it. If you walk out now, and if you recall what you saw just a few minutes ago with the sun is there. It's still up high, and it's still quite warm in the sun. But if we move along here, you can see that the shade is much greater than it was before, and the plants were much happier. Even though poor Tommy probably would like it to be direct sun. He does love the sun. On a 38-degree day, he loves nothing better than sitting in direct sun, getting hotter and hotter. He loves it. Hey, baby. You're so cute. Yes, you. I love you. I do. Scratchy scratchels? There you go. He loves his scratches. So now the entire balcony is wrapped in shade cloth, which is fantastic. End of a few weeks worth of buying and work to put in, and we are going into autumn and then winter, but next summer the plants will be very grateful. So over this Easter long weekend, I need to clean out those troughs that you can see along there along the bottom, and I need to replant some seeds. Seeds will still grow in April, which is going into our winter. So I shall replant some things and pot things up. my snake plant there is going to be okay over winter, but next year I will need to repot that. I would think it's going to have more growth and it'll outgrow that pot that it's in. But you can see the sun is coming out from behind the cloud now. So if we go back up, you can see how much brighter it is when I stand up than when I go down. See what the shade cloth is actually doing. So I think that's quite, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I think it's quite a stark example. Especially see it on the wall here. That's where the shade cloth is. And that is where the shade cloth is not. So it definitely works. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. And then we can move on now. Say goodbye, Tommy. Say goodbye. Yeah. You want to cuddle? It's time for cuddles with Tommy. Bye.